Finally, yeah, that's how I feel. We should be better than this. I'm still making misplays. Okay. Wait, is there a big boss 4? Yeah, big boss goes up to 5. I think nobody has reached 5 yet, but there's a few people that have reached big boss 4. Let's go to big boss 4. Cornering only works if you have ranged and back. You put Jug on the last right, which allows Assassin to blink in. Are you saying the positioning was wrong there? It does look like, based on how the result happened there, with a sample size of 4 boards, 2 boards for each strategy. He found 2 upgrades for that last fight. Hard to judge how swapping positions matters. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't actually notice that. Okay, we'll go to big boss 4 next. So the question is, how do we want to play our range? How many comps are in our range right now? My range right now is... And items do change it a bit. You do kind of have to approach item drops with a bit of flexibility. I do like how items and perks work in the game. They give you like a lot of different paths to go for. So now that we're Big Boss 3, we're in a lobby with no other Big Boss 3 players. This is getting a little monka. Locking for double drow axe does not feel like it's good enough. Could I lock for double drow axe? I am an aggressive locker. I do lock more aggressively than most people. I've always been that way, even in auto chess. I think I like this lock. I do actually like this lock. He had the blind perk, so maybe you should have split Huntress up on the middle of the board. That's interesting. Huh. But these... Maybe. I mean, the blind perk is basically just ridiculous and OP. So these are effectively the 3 best non-chainmail items. This is the hardest decision you ever have to make. I think it's Blightstone. It depends what comp I'm in. That's a really tough decision, honestly. I think in terms of the tier 1 items, I've basically solved them. Chainmail's the best one. Then these 3 are like a close tie. Then what am I missing? Then does it go like... Then it goes Brooch and then Claymore and then Tranquil Boots and then Cloak. Am I missing one? But these 3 are all around the same. The one thing I'm not sure of is where Vip Booster fits in. I know Blightstone and Gloves are very similar, but Vip Booster could be a little above that or a little below, and I haven't decided yet. Blightstone got nerfed bug fix recently, though? Yeah, and that's the reason I'm not picking it. Like, that's the reason I'm not snapping it. Blightstone was 5 times better than a really good item. Now it's just a really good item. I don't know. There's a lot of you guys that are thinking that, like, because I've seen that comment like 5 times today. So apparently there's a lot of you guys that thought that this item was only picked because it was minus 15 armor. I'm basically 180. Guys, minus 3 armor is really good. Now here's another hard one. Because now it's Juggernaut. And now I want the Drow to feed. Well, these things just come in on the side, right? And I want the Juggernaut to actually get the kills. Okay, Orc buff. Time to get rewarded for this line. If I don't get the Orc buff, it's maybe correct to sell Axe for Tusk, possibly? I'm not losing, am I? Oh, Axe. Oh, damn it. Axe is getting these last 2 kills. That's not good. I messed up. That positioning was wrong. I should have had Axe tanking. Never punished. Gloves of Haste is sweet. I don't put knights in my range right now. Second Tiny Endomorph looks pretty good. We have the ability to run 3 warriors, and I think 3 warriors plus the orc pair has to be better than the ability to have morph, so that's no good. The best opportunity for Gloves of Haste is Tiny. Best main tank is Axe, with these 2 coming in on the side. Blightstone is probably going to last more on Juggernaut. Axe main tanking means he's probably going to die a little sooner than Juggernaut. So, it looks like 2 attackers on Axe, and the Shredder will probably attack the Juggernaut here. There we go. So we are going to lose this, because he has a 2-star. If he's got a 2-star... I mean, my positioning is better than his. It's not going to matter, though. He has a 2-star. I mean, it might matter. No, he's got a 2-star. We can't win. He doesn't even have like warrior synergy, but he's got a 2-star. Damn it. Morphling is a good 4th hero to add, I guess. I don't know, Morphling is actually ass. Why even bother with Morphling? We could turn this into a lose streak, I guess. I don't really like lose streaking with warriors, though. Lose streaking is good with a lot of comps, but warriors is not one of them. Double anti-mage opens us up in a nice way. The question is, can I level up without selling something I'd rather not? And I have basically... I have fairly little respect for Morphling as a unit. I guess it's the best 4th hero here. I mean, Primordial is really good in these early fights. The problem is Morphling can't tank. It's so much worse than an auto chest, by the way. I want to put that out there. The fact that assassins can't... The fact that you can't control your assassin's blinks in this game. In auto chess, if you put your assassin in attack range or something, it wouldn't blink and back. That was a big deal. Assassins feel a lot worse now that you can't do that. Like, Morphling and Quap, for example, are both much worse just because of that. So leveling and putting in the second Tiny would be a big improvement to this board. Second Tiny, picking up both Warrior and Primordial buffs and just being a good unit is neat. I think we will level up here. I don't know, maybe leveling is just wrong. The thing is, like, as neat as our board is, we don't have a 2-star. If we don't have a 2-star, we can't really fight for the early game. And if we can't really fight for the early game, and we're already lost twice, it's just better in this spot to play for interest that we can't actually have. A board can still potentially win, but this is where we go for interest. That's fine. I think, like, there's a lot of players that like the idea of selling their entire bench on round 4. I wouldn't recommend that. It's a weak start. I don't think assassins can really be in our range. If I get like...
Forget me.
Yeah, I mean, we can't go assassins here. It's already too late, I think. We need to be hitting this interest point. So now I sell Morphling, Razor, Quap, and Anti-Mage. This is the only way to hit the interest point without committing anything we'd rather not. So now that we're committed to lose streaking, we can check the boards. We realize we do have the weakest board still. We're not going to risk winning against anyone. Oh, shit. No way. No way we beat this guy, right? If I beat this guy, this is really bad. Was that greedy? Okay, good. I was like, I checked the other 2 players. This guy has beaten someone. There's no way someone that has won 1 board, because his health is high. Okay, luckily we're still the worst board. That's very important. If we had won that, this is the worst possible way to start a board, to start a game. If we had accidentally won that, that would have been a disaster. It's like you lose 4 and then you win 1. Without playing for like maximum interest and without having like even a decent bench. Lose Streak Warriors is okay. I don't really typically like it. We want to open up our range as much as possible. Warriors, the only unit that Warriors uses is Tiny. Whereas I still want to have 2 units in my range, which means the only thing I can do is sell the Juggernaut. The thing to understand is that there's no comp in the game that uses Juggernaut or Axe, I think. Well, that's not, I shouldn't say strictly speaking true. It's like, if you're in Hunters and you have the Orc buff, then you're using Juggernaut. Or if you're in Mages, you could probably do the same thing with like Juggernaut with the Orc perk if you get that item. But it's not a forcible comp. Just get Brawny Item and win. Brawny Item isn't really even good when you're lose streaking like this. Why aren't you open forting this? Because it's better. There's no reason to open fort right now because we're checking other people's boards and making sure we're losing. And we're hitting the interest points we want to hit. We're doing everything we really can do here. There's no reason to be open forting if we're not accidentally beating any of these boards. These two drows might kill something. It's possible. Killing one thing makes our board a bit better. So we're getting a tiny. We're locked in for 40 gold interest. And here, because we're in round 9, we want to buy everything. We're going to need to design something that can try to beat creeps.
Okay.
Keeping the Morphling instead of like the 2 drows was an argument to try to beat these creeps. Because pairing Primordial with Tiny is going to be really important. So what's your IRL name? Sean Huguenard. So we have the ability to beat creeps with Morphling. This is nice. We basically just want Tiny to main tank. We don't have the 3rd warrior here, which is pretty clunky.
You need a healer.
Dude, what is happening with my clicks? Jesus. Oh my god. That's really frustrating. I really hope they fix that in the next update. Is it like a memory leak? Like, should I restart my client between games? It wasn't happening in the last, like, 3 games. What happened? Sometimes in Underlords, there's, like, your clicking becomes, like, messed up and you can't click on what your clicks just don't work. I think it's just random, though, right? So, completing the cycle is kind of a non-card. Item kind of blows. We already have 1 Gloves of Haste, which I think makes me favor the Vitality Booster. You really want to diversify the functions of your items if possible. I don't like getting forced into a lose streak. It's okay though. It's just a really rough start, and it looks like it's a bit of a high roll lobby. We could lose our big boss to this game though. Did they nerf Quap? No, but I felt less good about her, honestly. I thought she was kind of nuts at the start. The more I think about her, the more she's like kind of okay. So it looks like we're dropping our lose streak here. It's not the worst thing ever. Like, I would have liked to keep this up a little bit longer, I guess, but we're already at 50 golds, and because we're in Warriors in particular, we actually have the ability to play for the board in a way we don't if we're in another build. If we were in a build like Mages that can't really even come online yet, I would be a lot more careful about making sure we don't accidentally win.
I don't miss.
Something like this, I think, is the best thing to do. You want to pair Knights, you want to pair Heartless, and you want to pair Primordials with your level 2 Primordial main tanking everything. It's a little sloppy, but it's pretty much the best we can do in this scenario. It's not bad. I don't mind losing as long as I'm not taking too much damage at this point. It's still okay. How to beat corner mages? Is there any strat? But they're not like super unbeatable. Just play your game, do well, pair into Nagas. I've heard good things about Disruptor. I honestly I haven't really messed around with like Disruptor against them. Although that's probably okay. Sniper does feel like just kind of a good unit. Could actually just be better than Tiny here. Because it goes into like drow range and it hits like a truck too. And Tiny's kind of dying first. Like Sniper has 137 damage. Sniper level 1. That's so crazy, dude. Sniper's a monster. Oh my god. Like, my face, when my glows of face is actually going on a level 1 unit instead of my level 2 Tiny. Like, so good, dude. So Axe upgrade can actually be useful for the first few rounds. We want to get warriors online now that we have that. So now it's like the 3 warriors, and suddenly we want to cut out the knights, I think. Primordial is probably worth less than Heartless right now. As good as Primordial is, it's not like so unimaginably good that we can't do this. We could have actually leveled. We could have had Morphling in still. We could have sold out a bunch of stuff. That's fine, though. Our board is actually kind of, like, on par with people's boards now. We've got kind of the basics of what a growing board needs. We've got, like, 3 warriors, 2 of them being level 2. We just have a few level 2s. Warriors and Heartless, just, like, in general, are 2 of the best, 2 of the best alliances in the game, just to have casually. Warriors are really good early, and Heartless are good at all stages of the game, which is part of the reason why Pudge is such a ridiculous unit, because he has, like, really good and really unique tags as well. Reddit thinks the early mid game is pointless and doesn't affect the outcome of the game. Do you agree? I mean, obviously not when taken literally, but when you compare it to other games in general, kind of. I mean, compared to like any like card game or something like Dota, that's kind of one of the defining features of the genre, though, right? Oh, fuck. Ooh. Not so good. We've got Primordial and a level 2. We can't lose, can we? We can't lose, guys. It's impossible. It literally can't happen. I don't know, I mean, that's obviously true. It's only true when not taken literally. But yeah, I mean, of course this game has less of an emphasis on, like, early game as something that's, like, actually, like, map or board-based. This game is just, it's an economy game. So Skull Basher literally has to be much better than Mechanism. It has to not even be close, I think. And there's a Medusa.
I'm coming for you.
So that was a weird swap. If we're in Warriors, we're not using Tusk. I still don't know what I'm doing here. I know I'm just using the best board I have right now. It's also possible round 20 will tell me whether I'm in Warriors or Hunters. The nice thing is about Warriors Hunters is they're so overlapping. It's kind of like a branching tree, right? Like, you can be on 15 or 20 and still not know what you're ending up with, but because you use a lot of the same units, by a lot of the same units, I guess I mean like Kunkka and Tiny, maybe Doom. You use a decent bit of the same units, basically. And that's a neat thing. Game is telling me Hunters. Game is trying really hard to tell me Hunters. Game is saying swim. Go Hunters. Click on the Hunters.
Sagan and I will fight for you.
Ready to help.
Sagan. I know that's her doggo's name. I forgot that. Dude, why is her dog's name Sagan? Is that a reference to the fact that she has, like, star-based abilities? That's a little bit of a reach, I'm not gonna lie. That's a stretch. Do me a favor, bro. Don't go hunters. Bilbo, are you going hunters? Come on, man. Lots of mages. I wonder whether warriors or hunters are better against mages. Level 8 on 18 feels quite neat. I don't know, man. Hunters just feel good here. And the thing is, like, the warrior perk is tier 2, whereas the hunter perk is tier 3, which means we're about to hit round 20, but it's not like 20 can even give me the warrior perk to make me want to go warriors. Looks like I'm deep into hunters. I think there's nothing I can do to escape this. My items are honestly better on hunters too. We have like a vit booster and offensive items. Actually, basically every items just make more sense. Hunters are just fundamentally more item dependent, right? I guess a level 1 Lycan is probably better than a level 1 Slardar, I guess. Is that even true? God. Slardar hits so hard, though. It can't even be true. There's no way. Well, this feels pretty good, guys. Like, I think we can go, like, hyper greed. Whee! These are neat packs, guys. I think we can actually just kind of go to level 9 super early. We're hitting ridiculous packs. Like, it's very dumb. Let's go to 9 on 21. We got good lose streak economy. The thing is, we don't have to roll because we're just hitting what we wanted anyway. And when you're just getting good RNG like that, it means you don't have to roll. And if you don't have to roll, leveling is just good. We're winning. So our early game RNG was shit. But in the last, like, 4 rounds, the packs we were given were ridiculous. We even picked up a casual Skull Basher, which is just a ridiculous item. There's this, like... There's this question, this age-old question. Is Skull Basher or Relic better on Medusa? So Relic is relatively better on Medusa, because her split shots scale with her attack damage, but they can't bash. Her main attacks can still bash. But Basher fundamentally outclasses Relic. So... what do you guys think? Skull Basher or Relic? I mean, Basher is... it's so much a better item than Relic. It's so much better than Relic, it's not even funny. I think it has to be Basher. I'm not even joking. I think Basher is just so much better than Relic. It can't possibly be Relic. Basher Windrunner with that attack speed? Well, of course, if I have both items, I'll put Basher on Windrunner and I'll put Relic on Medusa. That's not what I'm saying. That's pretty obvious. But if I have to have one item, which is the item I'd rather have on Dusa? Mechanism feels like it simply has to be better than Hood, really? Oh, we messed up. We were supposed to have the natural level on 9 here. So I think because we're 9 and because we're streaking, it's actually kind of important to find the other hunter here.
I'll protect.
Track 6 here.
This is bad. What are we looking for? We're looking for Tidehunter or Beastmaster. We need Beastmaster. Man, if we lose our streak now, I'm gonna be pretty sad. Yeah, it's down. That's bad. Something like this makes a bit more sense. Need Pudga? I mean, Pudga's okay. We're very close to this out. Very close to a few outs. I think our board is still good to beat other boards, though. I think I want to swap that. Deuce is probably safest on this side. Like, she's behind the tiny and she's not in assassin range. It's probably fine. Scott Medusa's Pog. It doesn't apply on our shots. It's a visual effect. Not taking Medusa? I don't think it was worth the interest points. I don't know. I mean, it's a better unit than, like, Mirana. My health is getting dangerously low. And I'm not sure if I should try to stay in Slardar. Staying in Slardar actually just can't make sense. There's no way I'm ever going to want to stay in Slardar. Staying in Tiny makes a lot more sense. I think we're losing too many boards.
Just give me someone to shoot.
There we go, finally. So this has to be over the Necro, right? There's no other unit I can take out. Yeah, that looks correct. We couldn't hit this interest point either. That's fine. I mean, 6 Hunters and 3 Warriors is just like, we're online. When we find the Tide Hunter, it'll give us like Nagas for free as well, which will help us beat like this board. And Tiny 3 is actually really good in our Flex Warrior slot. So when we get this, when we get the Pudga will replace our Slardar. And then this comp is complete. Should side. Probably pretty dumb to not be on the side already. I think we're beating most boards, and this interest point is coming here. I don't know. Is it greedy to not be rolling here? It's probably greedy to not roll at least a few times, right? Like we can roll to like this interest point here. There we go, like that. That's perfect. Pudga 1 over. I messed up.
This is our moment.
I messed up. So I was thinking for a second, Pudga getting in a turn earlier. Like if I buy it here and then sell the Slardar to replace it, I don't lose the interest points and it makes my board a little bit stronger on the side. But right after I bought it, I realized it's a level 2 Slardar that's completing Naga because we don't have Tide yet. I should have replaced it for the Tony, but I can't sell the Tony, which means I shouldn't have bought it in the first place. It's just 1 interest point. Doesn't matter that much. And now that it's round 25, we're probably going to be in Tide Hunter very soon. Now I can sell the Slardar. I can get out of Naga. This gets me the interest points. And then on 25, we roll it down. Our board is very stable. We're going to hit a gigantic power spike. It should be on 26 onwards until 31. We can go AFK and we shouldn't be able to lose the board. We're hitting an enormous power spike here on this roll. It's like, it's not even funny. As long as we find what we're looking for. We're not going Doom. Our flex is Tiny 3 in this game. Like, we have so many outs. We literally can't not find what we're looking for on these many outs. I think multiple Medusas is just trolly here. I mean, I can't not be rolling. Like, we're still on crazy outs. And Tiny is a really crazy out here as well. We're hitting this interest points. Vanguard is nuts. I'm very happy about this Vanguard. I don't know. What are our outs? It's mostly, at this point, it's just Medusa and Tiny. Double Sniper gets there. Tide Hunter too. So those 3 outs. And Tide Hunter is a big out, actually. I think my health is low. I'm on too many outs to not do this. I can't not do this. I missed up. That was a sniper. fine. So we need this here. I want to hit this interest point by selling this. And then the rest of this looks pretty good. Okay. We're good. We're very stable here. We don't have the tiny out yet, but we don't need it. Missing the sniper was a little chunky. It was bad to miss the sniper, but not like the end of the world. It shouldn't really affect things. Like, we're hitting this interest point funnily enough because we missed that sniper, which is kind of funny. The most important thing is we got the Tide Hunter, and we even found the upgrade to the, what was it, Potom? So the question is, do we keep rolling? I mean, what's our out? It's just tiny, right? Double sniper, double tide. We can't roll. I mean, tiny with Vanguard is so good, but we can't roll. Let's look at positions. So corner left, those cancel each other out. Mages in both corners. Mages in both corners. We want to back up and just oh my god. I want to just have Pudga front tanking everything. So I could have sold something like Drow there. I think the Drow level 3 is actually happening this game though. Even though it's only a 6-of on 27 and we're at 23 health, I think it's worth it keeping this alive. Oh yeah, actually losing this one. That was a nice arrow. Holy shit. Dude, we just sniped that Medusa in back with that Potom arrow. That's crazy. That might have won me the fight. That is nuts. So we can try to realign items. These items look kind of what they want to be, though. It's like Pudga, hard front tank with Vanguard. We have attack speed on Sniper, which is actually just still best. I guess the mechanism could go on the Kunkka instead here. That might be a little bit better. It was spooky that we almost lost that, though. That was actually kind of scary. And then I guess Mirana is going to have to step forward against a lot of things. So she should actually just be one step forward already. I don't know. Is this positioning wrong? This is weird. Because, when we're cross-comped here... Oh, they don't actually have to move. Naga perk's sweet. You serious? I'm so fun.
I'll admit they're better than I thought.
Okay. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. I wonder if I don't want to be crossed against the mages.
I'm basically 1/8.
I mean, I have to econ through... We're not in one-shot range at 19. We have to econ. Econing is our win condition. We have to econ through 31 and then be below our load again, I think. Yo, Tasty C. Welcome to the 1/8 gig club, man. Econ for next game? I don't know. You see, a lot of bad players will spend their money, too early. That's one of the differences you'll see in this game between good players and bad players. Bad players just blowing their load. I mean, if we're at 19, we're not in one-shot range. One-shot range is basically... I would actually call one-shot range... Yeah, it's about 15. I'm kind of rounding, because 15 is kind of an even number-ish, which I don't think is great. It's probably closer to 14 or 16. I just don't know which one. So, I mean, I'll say it's 15. Plays Pudge more on the right. I think he's good here. He gets aggroed here. So there's the Drow. And keep in mind, we are keeping this Drow Dream alive. That's why we've been hurting our interest points for the sake of this Drow. Pudge Dream is probably dead, though. 15 is an even number. Guys, the word even in the English language has multiple definitions. Come on, guys. If you're gonna bully me about something, pick something a little bit... I'm such a bullyable person. And you're gonna bully me about calling 15 a nice even number? I say so much dumb shit.
I'm ready.
I should be rolling here, I think. I think I do have to roll it down. Like, we're close to the tiny out. The tiny out at least has to be worth rolling here for. And there's the sniper. Casual hunter's focus. This item's probably pretty good. I haven't done the math. I don't think Moonshard could be better than this item. It's pretty good. We're not in Pudge, right? Oh my god. I mean, Pudge is good against mages. Mages are part of my lose condition. If I actually don't find anything. If I actually... Oh my god.
At least you're smart enough not to recruit Wind Ranger.
Oof, dude. One tiny, one drow out. Luckily, we're not in one-shot range yet. I think because we're so close to both of these... The thing is, you have to understand when to roll and when to econ. Because sometimes econing is better for finding what you want, right? It's like, if we weren't so close, if we were like 2 outs away, suddenly it's like, okay, rolling is just burning... Like, if you're 2 away, let's say I had 7 drows and 7 tinies instead of 8 drows and 8 tinies, the best way to increase my odds of completing them suddenly becomes waiting instead of rolling. And maybe we're at that point here. But the thing is, I can't play for interest points. Like, game's too close to out. I'm too close to stuff. The thing is, if I roll and I find a Pudge, that's like the literal saddest thing ever. Maybe I can wait 1 more round. Even though it's not an interest point. I wonder if what I'm saying out loud is really dumb. Wait 1 more round even though it's not an interest point. We did just get the Hunter perk. It feels impossible to lose boards right now, and we are not in one-shot range. We're so close to multiple outs, and because we've got the Pudge out, that's making this even tastier, and because we're not in one-shot range, and we power spiked with Hunter perk, maybe we actually just econ until 36. That's like slightly ballsy, when you're literally on 2 outs for a 3 star. Am I just econing here? Dude, I'm at 2 outs for 3 stars. But I think I'm still winning boards. And I mean, if I lose a board, I can blow my load then, right? It's just too early. It's too early to blow my load. 19 is not one-shot range. We cannot lose. It's 19. It's not one-shot range. So people are stacked left. So the mage player and the other like semi-hunter player is stacked. This guy doesn't have DK for AoE. I think I should flip my board. I think I want to be vertical against them instead of diagonal. I don't know. Do I want to be vertical against mages? It kind of makes me just like eat it to AoE. Maybe I'm where I want to be. Check for vicious intent? I'm not going to check for vicious intent, dude. There's some things you just shouldn't respect. Try loose streaking at 19 health. Loose streaking would actually be a good way to get economy here. Like, we're on 34. Look at this. We can make it to 36. We can make it through the other side. You gotta just, like, you gotta play tight. You want to be a tight, aggressive player. We're fine. We don't need to spend gold. We're good. This interest matters, guys. You guys think this doesn't matter, but it super duper does. Oh, Axe Blink, no! Oh, he got hooked! Oh my god! Pudge saved me! Dude, that Axe Blink would have been so bad. Holy shit. Dude, what a hero hook!
Next.
There we go. Look at this. Win streaking to first place by econing. See, guys? You guys are all telling me to blow my load. You guys are like, Swim saving money for next game. No. This is how you play this video game. This is it. Dandy Pudge. Perfect. This is so good. So the one question is, do we want to be diagonal? Oh, now this hunter guy. I think we want to be across against this board. I just don't know about mages. Going vertical against mages is so scary. Because their Coddle Blast will literally just eat you. But you'll kill them so much faster. I think I'm probably where I want to be, honestly. I don't know. BKB is not even really a good item.
They're as good as dead.
Thing is, I'm not really even worried about this mage guy. Can't even find it here, right? Swap Pudge and Tiny. The thing is, Pudge is such a super chunker. Look at this guy. Pudge is literally tankier than this 3-star Tiny. And Tiny's more so my DPS. Yo, where's my BKB? I think we start playing for interest again. Okay, I'm joking at this point. This is where I can get off of interest. It's true. So Windrunner attacks much faster with Basher, but it also does die. So the mage player's out. Now that the mage player's out, we can invert our board because we want to be vertical against this guy. We have a better vertical board. We want to be pressed up too, right? Pressed up vertical, and then there's 3 assassins on this side. So we want to roll a little bit here. Didn't find it. So we want to be here now. Now that the mage player is out. You don't want to go vertical against the mage, but I'm better to go vertical against this other hunter.
Praise be to Selemene.
Is Basher on Drow better? Excellent question. That's what I was thinking about asking myself. Like, the survivability, you do want your items on the most survivable units. So they both got knocked out, so we're good. Okay, we got a rough start that game. We were forced into a lose streak we did not want to take. Managed to salvage it. It was overall pretty good. We got a decent, like, pickup in the mid game. Not too much to say about that one. I want to explain, like, the vertical against mage thing. Well, let me actually explain this. I want to make a point to you guys. So, the comp that wants to remain tucked together out of the two wants to be the one going vertical, right? Because, like, if you imagine a board, if my box is vertical to their clump of units, both boards will not split, right? Which means, like, my drow will stay attached to the aura with everything else. And this is going to be really bad against units like DK or, like, heavy AoE. Like, you know, like mages, potentially. Because, like, your Coddle Blast will wreck everything. But hunter to hunter, I was in 6 hunter and I had a better position to drow, which means if neither player moves, if both players are packed tightly together, I benefit more from that than him. I also have Tiny. I have, like, these tight AoEs with, like, narrow ranges. Auras like drow, units with, like, short stun ranges like Tiny, or, like, Dragon Knight's Dragon Breath. These kinds of abilities want to be vertical against the opponent's corner box, because then you're just, like, clumping. You're doing very well in that. Now, things that have a wide AoE are kind of exceptions to this. Something like Enigma's Midnight Pulse, or maybe Kunkka's Ship. I'm not sure how I feel about Kunkka's Ship now. Now that Ship is a shorter AoE, I'm not sure what category it fits into. But the thing about something like Midnight Pulse is it has a big enough AoE that it'll work on the entire opponent's team, even if they're not super clumped together. So for something like Enigma, you want to be diagonal with your opponent. You want both boards to kind of come apart a little bit, so that their like tight AoE like auras or like DK splashes or like tiny won't work on you, but your loose AoE will still work on them. That's the way you want to think about those endgame spots.